Hello everybody, I am the Helpful Witch, and today we're going to be discussing if we have seen everything that there is to see from the Hogwarts Legacy team. I'm gonna share with you my thoughts as a person working in marketing so that we can discuss what might be actually going behind the scene in the Hogwarts Legacy team and understand more what we can expect from a marketing perspective. Before we get into the video, please subscribe if you enjoy my content and make sure to turn on notifications so that you can be notified when I upload next. And now let's get right into it. So currently I've only seen the channel podcast now speaking about this topic, and I find it very fascinating, as I was mentioning, as this is my day-to-day job, so I'm really interested in what goes on in their marketing department. Additionally, I pre-ordered the game despite all of the shenanigans going on during the pre-order announcement. However, I know a lot of people did not pre-order the game, partly because of what happened, the collector's edition, many different factors, but also a lot of people are actually waiting to see more gameplay for the game before they can make that decision, which is completely fair. I am a little surprised that we saw this brand new game reveal trailer in November, because actually this makes me think that they have not moved much from their original campaign that they probably planned before they knew that the game was going to be delayed. However, I also think it's interesting to see what they have shown us, because this was a very controlled and very small part of the game, mostly focusing on actually features and gameplay rather than giving us a more cinematic experience. From a marketing perspective, the holiday season, especially in November and December, are key moments to plan your heavy-hitting campaigns to ensure that people are going to buy the games or the product that you're selling or your services, especially as gifts for the holidays. Therefore, a lot of thoughts goes into these campaigns because they're usually the most revenue-generating campaigns, which is why I think we got the delay announcement during the summertime, because that's probably when they were trying to think about the whole strategy around launch time and Christmas, and they realized that the game was not going to be ready for then. Going back to what I think we're going to be able to see next, I think actually they're going to have to start thinking about people wanting to buy the game for family. I will expect they will still want to capitalize around the holiday season for gift giving, of course. Therefore, we will probably see some new advertisement around that time. I would say, as they're not probably going to have any deals going on around Black Friday, they can probably not do any heavy advertisement, but I still think it will be a good idea to advertise the game as a gift for people, although it's coming in February, as technically February is not that far away. People gift concert tickets, and other events that might not be going on for a while, so I don't think it's unfeasible to think that people will gift Hogwarts Legacy, although they won't be able to get a copy during Christmas. So I think they're still gonna have some advertisement around then, and that's where I think we might be able to see some new, screenshots, some new pictures of the game, some new stills, but I'm not entirely sure whether they will create a brand new trailer just to advertise the game. From the way that they were speaking during the new trailer that they revealed, I actually think that it seems to be that they want to show us a lot more stuff, and that this is the plan for them to actually start showing us a lot more events and actually quite a lot of new items in quite a lot of details like they did this time. Something to keep in mind from a marketing perspective is that actually during January is never a great time to advertise, and this is because, as you probably know, Christmas is a big period of spending for people. A lot of people are purchasing gifts, and this starts as early as November. Before there was the actual Black Friday, but now it's basically a Black Friday month, so during the whole of November there is a lot of sales going on leading to Black Friday, and then all throughout the Christmas period. Therefore, usually January is actually a dead month in terms of advertisement. There isn't much because people don't have that much money going around, and therefore people don't actually want to waste their advertisement money for January. So this brings in two things. First of all is that they probably had a predetermined budget. They probably got a little bit of an extension because of the delay, but because they had this predetermined budget, they will probably have to divide it between now and February. Therefore, they will probably push a little less, I'm guessing, during the November and December period, but then they will focus a bit more during January. Although, again, as I said, this is not the greatest month, but they they will have to do it, as that's when the game releases in February, early February. Therefore, they're probably gonna follow what Gotham Knights did, with, you know, the month before the release being a lot full of activities and what's happening and letting people know and showing more content. So we will definitely see some new content in January, not probably as much before, but again, we need to think about the fact that they're probably spreading themselves a bit more thin in terms of being able to actually use everything that they planned on using between November and December, actually spreading that out across a couple more months. In terms of what actually I'm expecting to see from material and content wise, I think we will see again 2 more ASMR videos, so one for fall and one for winter. Technically winter doesn't start until the 21st of December, so they still have time to show a fall or autumn ASMR. I think that will probably include, or both of them will probably include, some seasonal scenery that we can see, you know, maybe some pumpkins and some Christmas trees or decorations around the scenery that they're gonna show. I was actually surprised we didn't get the ASMR for fall released during Halloween. That was something that to me was a little bit of a silly move. I thought that would have been the perfect time to show a new ASMR for fall. I definitely think we're gonna be able to see both the ASMR for fall and winter before the game releases, and I think they're gonna have some seasonal stuff in them. I think what we're gonna see next is a lot of nods to the books or things that will make the fan happy. So as I said, the seasonal stuff that bring, you know, that holiday cheer that a lot of us associate with Harry Potter. So I think we're gonna see some of that information, possibly some more information about the technicalities of the game, but I don't think we're gonna see any more or big lore drop before the game releases, big spoilers or big explanation about the actual story. I don't think we're gonna see any more of that. I think definitely something that they could use in the future is doing maybe a side quest, and actually another possibility would be, which I would really like to be fair, is actually seeing a bit more about the Ravenclaw companion, or a bit more, actually seeing something about the Ravenclaw companion, and I think this would actually tie in well with maybe showing us some classes. Now we've seen the character customization, and we've seen a little bit about Hogwarts and the castle itself, and we've seen a bit more regarding combat and how that's actually going to work. So I think something that we haven't really seen is a bit more about the technicalities of the classes. So it'd be very nice to actually focus on a class, and possibly we have seen Natsize and Sebastian and Poppy within different classes, so maybe they could focus on a class that we haven't really seen much of, or even a class that we have already seen a bit of, possibly care of magical creatures, considering there is going to be a lot of mechanics regarding caring for magical creatures and we haven't really seen too much about that either. So I think something that will tie in everything very well together would be a care of magical creature class with actually the Ravenclaw companion, because again, the Ravenclaw companion supposedly, I'm guessing, it's going to be a person who is very studious, who actually likes to attend classes and do well in classes. So I think again it will make sense. I know that care of magical creature would be a more of a Poppy, I guess, kind of class, but I still think that it would be pretty good to have a class and see more about the Ravenclaw companion, because that would be able to tell us a bit more in terms of what the Ravenclaw companion is going to be like, and also about how the classes are going to work. And this is something that they haven't shown in the past trailers as much, so I think it would be very interesting to see those, as well as actually giving us some new information that shouldn't necessarily spoil the game, as in if we see the Ravenclaw companion within an actual class, it's not going to tell us too much about their personalities or their backstory or what we're going to be doing with them. So I think it's a very safe environment for us to still see some game mechanics, but actually also get a bit more of the excitement of actually learning something new that we haven't seen and speculating about the Ravenclaw companion ahead of the game release. I think this would be very good also because they need to make sure that they keep this excitement up. Now that we have had a new trailer with a lot of new footage and we've actually experienced a bit more about Hogwarts, I definitely think that they need to make sure that that excitement stays up, especially throughout the Christmas period and then leading into January. Because as I was mentioning, January is going to be a very difficult month in terms of actually keeping people engaged and making purchases in January. I think the most amount of purchases we're going to get is probably before the end of the year. January is usually a dead month in terms of being able to get people to buy stuff. There is a lot of sales going on in January as well because people don't have enough money to spend on things that are not really useful. So I think because a lot of us are going to have spent a lot of money during Christmas Christmas to buy a gift for family and friends. I think they need to make sure that they're actually prepping us to see what's gonna happen in January and keeping this excitement to ensure that people are making the purchases right now. I think the gameplay trailer that they've shown recently was very, very cool and very, very interesting, but I don't know whether that actually sold the game to that many new people, so people that were on the fence, whether that was what made them tick. I think in January they're gonna have a lot of opportunities to show more about the game, especially with the release coming soon. They're gonna be able to actually afford to make a bit more cheeky, lore or story related nods, I think, because the game is gonna be revealed pretty soon. So I think they definitely need to manage those expectation and excitement between now and January. So overall, I think we're still gonna see some activity during the holiday season, so between November and December. I think we're gonna see some new information, but very, very small. I think that's possibly gonna be tied in with the advertisement they're gonna run, so all of the information that they work out for that, so any new images and any new trailers is gonna be around advertisement on that period. I don't think they're gonna focus on actually just the social media and, let's say, free advertisement. I think they're gonna focus on the paid advertisement, so billboards and ads, all of this kind of information, that they're gonna need to provide for those type of advertisement. I think that's what we're gonna see also during the free social media or people screenshotting the ads around, but I don't think we're actually gonna see that much new, especially video, before January. I think they're gonna need to be careful because, again, January is gonna be a dead month in terms of people actually being able to have the spare change to spend for a big game like Hogwarts Legacy. So I think they're gonna need to prep their audience before. They're gonna need to start ramping up the excitement. I think now that we have God of War out of the way as well, they can really focus, and also Gotham Knights. I think they can really focus on Hogwarts Legacy, and they can have, that be the next big game that people are expecting. Something interesting is to consider is also whether they're gonna have had any new budget or whether they've just spreading their budget across a couple more months than before they anticipated. So interestingly, I think because we've seen this new trailer coming out actually on the 11th of November, I think that would have made more sense if the game was releasing in a month. So if the game was releasing early December, it would have made sense to get this gameplay reveal trailer now in November. So I wonder whether actually they're gonna keep their original plan and show us more during November and December and not as much during January, or whether they're basically going to slowly release what they planned on releasing basically throughout November and actually releasing a little bit in November, a little bit in December, and then a little bit in January. So we won't see that big month lead up to Hogwarts Legacy, but we will see basically a constant level of excitement between November and then December and then January. So maybe with one big video a month rather than getting, a couple of videos in 1 month, which in this case would have been January. But overall, I'm very excited. I am a bit nervous just because, again, we haven't seen much and I just want to see a little bit more. I have made my pre-order, but I just am curious to see. I feel like every single trailer they show, it's something different. At the beginning, it was a very magical trailer. The second, I feel like there was a lot of combat for what they've shown, but also the school part, I feel like it's a bit of a difficult mix to actually contain within one game. I don't know how is it gonna play, what it's gonna feel like if we go out and, I don't know, Avada Kedavra, all of the goblin that we find, how is it gonna go when we come back to Hogwarts? It's gonna feel a bit weird if nobody knows and just everybody's happy and sees us and, high fives us down the street. I just feel like it's gonna be a bit weird. So I definitely want to see a bit of gameplay, because then with the haunted shop quest, it looked really horror-y. It feels like they're trying to do something different every trailer, and I definitely want to see a bit more the actual game and a bit less marketing polish. I want to see what the game is going to be like. I've definitely enjoyed seeing a little bit more of the actual gameplay in November. However, I'm still not seeing, I guess, what I really want to see, which is the classes, which is the life at Hogwarts. They've kind of glossed over a little bit of the question asked in terms of what is going to be our free time looking like. So being able to see what we're going to see in the Outer Worlds, what actually hides behind the walls of Hogwarts. What is it going to be in Hogsmeade, but also the different little towns that they said, I guess, in the second trailer, and what other settlements are out there, the magical creatures as well, the vivarium, the room of requirements. I want to see a bit more of the things in between killing bad guys. I think, yes, there is going to be a lot of combat, but there is also going to be a lot of downtime in between different side quests or main quests. I want to see what is going to be like the true life at Hogwarts, or true life of a student at Hogwarts that is not actually fighting crime. What is it going to be feeling like in between those sessions, and also the classes? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing next. But I guess I'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen next. I'm definitely gonna be refreshing all of their pages in the hope of seeing something new. I want to now know though, what do you think we're gonna be seeing next? Because it's all well and good me sitting here and telling you from a marketing perspective, but I want to see what you want to see and what you think they're gonna show us. I definitely think a lot of people come from a different background. A lot of people have been covering games for a long time, so I think it's very interesting again to put all of the perspective together, because I think it's always a mix of what everybody's saying. I don't think everybody is ever 100% right, but I think opening that discussion will give us the right answer in between the text, taking a little bit from everybody, we can find the right answer and start speculating on what we're gonna see next. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos coming soon. It's not gonna be all marketing, but it can be as well. If you want to know again my perspective from a marketeer, I'm definitely happy to share it. But again, thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!